Are you serious? Are you serious? Guys, we are very serious. We have breaking news coming out of the Middle East. The Iranian president, Ebrahim Raisi, his helicopter has crashed in the mountains of Azerbaijan province there of Iran. And his helicopter is still missing. It's in deep, very, very dense fog, high in the mountain region, and bitter, bitter, extreme cold up there. There was 3 helicopters traveling, and the one with the president of Iran, I repeat, the president of Iran, Ebrahim Raisi, along with the foreign minister of Iran, were both in the helicopter as it went down. First reports was it was just a hard landing, but then reports started to begin to break loose here in the last 30 minutes that no. This helicopter has crashed and is missing. And matter of fact, the Iranian government has contacted the European Union asking for help in trying to search for the helicopter. And let me just tell you, there's some more info also. So you got to wonder, and what is the prophecy? What prophecy could be in play here? All of this is happening as we speak. But let me put a quick shout out right now for just go straight to chuckdefense.com/Paul. That's chuckdefense.com/Paul. Have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? And I recently saw a video he made. I was shocked, really. He's 80 years old. He's still kicking butt. He's still taking names, maybe yours. He's working out, is staying active. Amazing. And he can work out shockingly stronger and longer than even plenty of leftover energy for the grandkids. He did this by just one change he made. He says he feels like he's in his 50s. His wife started doing this also, and she has never felt nor looked better. And Chuck made a special video that explains everything. Make sure you watch it. Go to chuckdefense.com/Paul. It's in the description below. You can click it, take you straight there. That's chuckdefense.com/Paul by clicking on the link below. Again, that's chuckdefense.com/Paul. Remember, Chuck Norris, that legendary champion that he is 81 years old, and he's got more energy than I got, I'll tell you. That's chuckdefense.com/Paul. All right. Well, guys, there's a lot going on. I want to talk to you about this situation in Iran right now. So there's a search underway for the downed helicopter. Iran's president, Ebrahim Raisi, has crashed along with the foreign minister, according to Iranian officials. They're trying to send rescue teams to have been dispatched, but they can't find the helicopter. The fog is so thick. It is so bitter cold, and it's on the mountainside somewhere, and they're trying to locate it, according to state officials. Now, at first they said they suffered a hard landing, but later it was confirmed that this was a crash. It happened not long ago, a couple hours ago, near Jaffa, which is Iran's East Azerbaijan province in the north of the country. Very mountain, very hilly, very bitter cold, and high altitude and dense fog. The Iranian Supreme Leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has now expressed concern over the situation in a meeting with families of the Revolutionary Guard Corps personnel, and he's urged the country to start praying for Raisi and others who were in the helicopter. Quote, "We hope that God returns the honorable president and his companions to the arms of the nation," he said. He also urged Iranians not to worry and to stress that there would be no disruption in the government. Now, Raisi was returning from a visit to neighboring Azerbaijan when he had traveled to inaugurate a dam alongside the country's president, Ilham Aliyev of Azerbaijan. But on the way back, the state media says there was 3 helicopters all traveling, including with one with the Iranian president aboard and 2 others that made it back safety. 2 of these helicopters have already got back. They're safe. The 3rd helicopter went down. That's the one with the president on board, and the foreign minister, Hassan Amir Abdulahan. And you may have heard of him because he made some very, very hateful remarks at Israel here just in the last week or so. Of course, he's the foreign minister. He has threatened Israel several times. And, of course, especially when Iran began to fire the 320 rockets and drones and cruise missiles at Israel, all of which were intercepted by the hand of God and the Iron Dome, and the Americans, the Jordanians, the British, and the Saudi Arabians, and the Israelis, IDF, along with the Iron Dome and the hand of God, stopped every one of those rockets. Now, also, all these guys. Now, listen. The president, Ebrahim Raisi, was on the helicopter, along with the foreign minister, Hassan Amir Abdulahan. Okay, the guy who really tried to curse Israel. East Azerbaijan's governor, Malik Ramadi, was also on the helicopter. And the Ayatollah Muhammad Ali Hasham, the representative of the Iranian supreme leader to the province, was also on the same helicopter that Raisi was on, according to them. So, I mean, we're talking about the president of the country, the foreign minister of the country, the governor of the province, and the top Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's representative from the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Muhammad Ali Hashim. All were on the same helicopter that has crashed. Energy Minister Ali Akbar Mirhamerin and Housing and Transportation Minister Marad Bazarpash, and that's hard to say his name, were in the other helicopters. They made it back safety. People who were with the president inside the helicopter somehow managed to make an emergency call, according to semi-officials. But no one's heard from the president. They're reporting that the call, they're hoping that no one has died. There is increased hopes, maybe, but we don't know. And it's a very fluid situation. There's not been a confirmation that the president is alive, or the foreign minister, or the other diplomats and representatives of the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. This is a very fluid situation, and you have to ask yourself, a lot of questions have to be asked. A lot of questions have to be asked at a moment like this. Number one, there's a war going on. Whether you know it or not, Iran has been and has declared a war on the nation of Israel. They're using their proxies, Hamas out of Gaza, Hezbollah out of southern Lebanon. They've been using the Houthi rebels out of Yemen. They've also been using the Islamic Jihad out of the Gaza area. They've been using the Syrians have been supporting it. The Russians have supplied weapons. The Chinese have supplied weapons. The North Koreans have supplied weapons. And, of course, the Iranians launched even a 320 rocket drone cruise missile attack at Israel as well. So having all of these different entities coming against the land of Israel. Meanwhile, there's been protests going on all across America against Israel, and even the United Nations had voted almost unanimously to divide by force the land of Israel. Had America, thank God, vetoed it, it would have went through. We're hanging on by a thread here, keeping the nation of Israel protected. Now, the Bible said that this would happen, that in Joel chapter 3, that the whole world would come against Israel to part the land, and that God would have to bring the world down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and plead with them there not to part the land, not to come against his heritage, the children of Israel. Also, the Lord made a promise, a covenant 4,000 years ago to Abraham when he told him that he would bless him with the Holy Land. He said, I will bless them that bless thee, but I will curse them that curse thee. Now, the Turkish government already should know that, as when this war first started, within the first 2 weeks of it, the Turkish parliament member got up and just trashed Israel from the podium in front of the entire parliament and cursed them. And when he did, he fell backwards and died on the spot. You may have remembered that. Now the president of Iran, who also has cursed Israel publicly, and literally, not only him, but the foreign minister really did 2 weeks ago, and others. You have to wonder, is this the hand of God? You have to also wonder, is this the hand of the IDF? There is a war going on. Was there some involvement of the IDF? Was there some involvement of the CIA? Or was there some involvement of the United States or NATO or somebody else in the region? We're not sure. But or was it just the weather? And who brought the weather in the first place? Who is it that brought the heavy fog? Who is it that brought the absolute horrific weather, just all of a sudden come out of nowhere, right in that area where the helicopters were going? You ask yourself a question, I can answer it. God himself. Well, anyway, we don't know which way to shake with this. We don't know if the president of Iran is dead or alive, and there'll be a lot of spinning going on and a lot of confused reports, no doubt, will begin to surface here. And there'll be it's a very fluid situation. They've already put some spinning on it by saying it was just a hard landing. Then finally saying, well, no, it crashed. And then they said, well, guess what? We don't even know where it's at. Pray for everybody. Pray. We don't even know where it's at. Darkness has came. Okay, darkness has fallen. The fog is so thick. It's bitter, extremely cold. And this helicopter is on the side of a mountain somewhere, crashed. They're saying that maybe there's 2 people alive who's contacted. But, again, that could be just a rumor. We're waiting for more information on this. I really think we've got a very serious situation on our hands and what it will all mean. By tonight, don't miss my broadcast tonight. We'll have a better handle of it, probably much more information on this, and a better analogy of what this is. Plus, BP Earthwatch is going to join me live on the air tonight because of the unbelievable events taking place with the sun and how it's affecting the earth and the potential pole shift. We got to talk about that tonight. There's a lot to discuss here. And I'm telling you, God's not mocked, folks. Whatsoever man soweth, that shall he reap.
Saturday was silent, and surely it was through.
You think I could do this? Sorry about that.
Saturday was silent, and surely it was through.
All right, news in Russia says he was shot down.
Since
I see
when
that.
has impossible ever stopped you? And Friday's disappointment is Sunday's empty tomb. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? This is the sound of a dry bones rattling. This is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Pentecostal fire, stirring something new. You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime soon. Your resurrection power, it runs in my veins too.
Oh, that's right.
On the bones of Elisha, if there's anything that he can do, just ask the stone that was rolled at the tomb in the garden. What happens when God says to move? I feel him moving it now. I feel him doing it now. I feel him doing it now. Do it now. Do it now. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Yeah, this is the praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming.
Oh, come on.
I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Prophesy and say to them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up from your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Then you shall know that I am the Lord, and I will put my spirit in you, and I will place you in your own land, and you shall live. I will place you in your own land. You shall live, 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 live.
Oh, that's right. Things are heating up in the Middle East. Oh, the dry bones, the prophecy of the rebirth of Israel as a nation has come to pass. Again, we have breaking news today where the president of Iran, his plane has gone down, his helicopter, excuse me. There were 3 helicopters. The one carrying the president of Iran has crashed in the mountains of Azerbaijan province there in Iran. Poor weather conditions now has completely made it almost impossible to locate the helicopter. The fog is so thick and the bitter cold is unbelievable. The helicopter carrying Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi suffered a crash today. Iranian state television is reporting this, along with other officials from the government of Iran. Raisi was traveling in Iran's East Azerbaijan province, according to state-run TV, and said the incident happened near Julfa, which is a city on the border with the nation of Azerbaijan. Matter of fact, the president had been in Azerbaijan, and they were dedicating a new dam there, apparently. The Iranian officials have told Reuters, we are still hopeful, but the information coming from the crash site is now very concerning. So, again, the situation seems to be digressing. Traveling with Raisi was also the Iranian foreign minister. Some of you may remember him, Hossein Amir Abdullahan. He's the governor here. I mean, he's actually the foreign minister who had made some very, very negative comments and hate, really, threatening the annihilation of Israel just within 2 weeks ago. He was on the same helicopter along with the governor of Iran's East Azerbaijan province and other officials, according to the state-run Iranian IRNA news agency. The Israeli Times reporting that it is a significant event. Also, the Kiev Independent is confirming the crash, saying that the helicopter is missing. Also, we haven't heard from the Biden administration or the State Department, but we do know that according to reports coming from the European Union, that Iran has contacted the EU asking for help in the search. It is a very bitter, cold night high in the mountains of Azerbaijan province of Iran in a very dense fog, extreme weather, and the helicopter is still missing. We will continue to track this story, find out what's going to happen, what's going on, and give you a full report when we do tonight. Sunday Night Live starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll have this report on this incident as well as other situations developing. And BP Earthwatch will join us tonight live. He will join us live tonight as the pole must be shifting. Something's going on, and it's affecting the Earth and the entire solar system, the sun, the Earth, the moon. It seems as if the Bible's prophecies of there will be signs in the sun, the moon, the stars, and distress of nations with confusion would be happening in just before the coming of Jesus Christ. And also, while we're watching all of these things, we're keeping a close eye on everything going on around the world with the weather conditions, the floods, the storms, the raging floodwaters in Houston, Texas, and many other events taking place right now. We'll get to all of it tonight at 7 p.m. Don't forget to get your tickets. This is the best webinar ever, and I haven't even interviewed Mike from the world yet, but Bart Begley's put together a phenomenal documentary. And without question, it was the best presentation that Gil Brazard's ever given us. It was also the best that Marshall Masters has ever given us. And BP Earthwatch, it was, I don't know, his is always, there's so many of them are so great. Man, does he help explain this thing to you, what's going on. And he'll even tell us more tonight. And Clyde Lewis was amazing. And Josh Peck was incredible. I just don't know what to say. It's the best ever. You'll absolutely, it's a have to. You have to watch this webinar, and it's May 31st. It's Friday night, May 31st. Get your tickets today. Go to our website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's paulbegleyprophecy.com. And be sure you get your ticket today. I'll see you guys at 7 o'clock tonight, Lord willing, right here on the coming apocalypse. And I know there is Russian reports that the helicopter was shot down. That is unconfirmed. I repeat, that's unconfirmed. That's unconfirmed. No other media is reporting that. So we'll just let that set. But we'll see. We may have more information by tonight. And if it did happen that way, you're not going to see anybody jumping up and down with their hand in the air saying we did it. Not that quick. I think the weather probably is the main situation here. But I don't know. We'll wait. We have a war going on. That's for sure. I'll be back with more on the coming apocalypse. See you at 7 o'clock tonight.